Okay, this video is for the folks at the Ocean Protection Council and for our own Supervisor Rodoni and our Congressman, Jared Huffman. There can be no boundary expansion with the Duxbury petition from EAC, and here's why. And this is a little complicated, so bear with me. I'm just going to do a quick tour of an ordinary Park Service Point Reyes map because you'll see this issue and this real risk and agenda that the community of Bolinas sees around the wilderness conversion risk, so the federalizing risk to state waters and state fishing rights. So look at this map. Here's, of course, Duxbury Point. Here is light colored waters going up a quarter mile from shore, turning to this darker blue shade all along the Point Reyes National Seashore. And there's a little bit of variation. Dark water all through DrakesEstero, light, dark, 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 dark. So what does that mean? Well, if you look at the key here, it calls those waters Philip Burton Wilderness Water. Now, wilderness is a no-take designation. It is the absolute most restrictive designation that we could have. It is not operational, that restriction. Fishing is occurring and access is occurring. Motorized access is occurring up and down those designated by the Park Service on their maps, at least, wilderness areas. Staff at the California Department of Fish and Wildlife confirm directly when you speak with them, as I have with Craig Schulman, no, these are all state waters. There's some confusion because, as you see here, the park is saying park boundary extends a quarter mile from shore. Well, not so fast. The land of the park extends a quarter mile from shore, but the state explicitly retained state waters, state fishing rights, state mineral rights, and that's the position at Fish and Game. So why does this all pertain to EAC's petition since 2023 to achieve this 8-mile shutdown up to Double Point from Duxbury? Well, you can see the current conservation area. So this Duxbury State Marine Conservation Area that protects our reef currently right here. You can see that those light waters, right where the conservation area ends currently, this wilderness designation begins. And if they're granted the expansion that they've requested up to Double Point, suddenly we're bridged into this wilderness gap and this wilderness risk that we see. And right now, the staff are supporting in concept that boundary expansion. The governor's folks at the Ocean Protection Council just came out with their recommendations saying, yeah, let's do the boundary, we'll just protect fishing. Well, as soon as EAC gets what they've been after with no basis in science or fact, as soon as they get that expansion, then tap, 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 they're going to work toward the conversion of this over to no access, full wilderness, federalized waters, just as they did at DrakesEstero. That's the key. In 2007, EAC said, we're going to take this potential wilderness, eliminate, and that's the only barrier that prevents potential wilderness from flipping over to full federal wilderness, eliminate the non-conforming uses in that location. So you eliminate the motorized boats, the commercial activity, and the structures associated with the oyster farms. And as soon as that happened, which was a long, drawn-out public process, as soon as the non-conforming uses are gone, there's no further process. There's a notice sent to the Secretary of the Interior through the Federal Register that says, okay, the non-conforming uses are gone, flip the switch. and make this wilderness. So now DrakesEstero, which had been a state marine conservation area, isn't anymore. Now this is all wilderness. Now I say that wilderness has a great ring to it, but it's an entirely different usage and access and management profile than what we have at Duxbury and in these other areas currently. And so we should be really eyes wide open about the actual agenda behind this petition. And this, you know, as everyone knows, this is a heavily protected area. You can't, you know, swing a cat without hitting another MPA, another marine reserve, now wilderness in that area. And the thing that is especially worrisome is, I think in this whole area, I think they're seeing just a weakness here, that they haven't gotten this trophy fully yet. And if they can go in here and then fight to eliminate motorized boats of any kind, commercial or recreational, the boats are the only thing standing between these being state waters with state fishing rights and some normal amount of access to overnight federalized wilderness, no access, no take, no boats, no shellfish gathering, no kelp gathering. And so the elimination of motorized boats, just as it was significant for DrakesEstero, is significant everywhere you see this darker water designation, and would be a real surprise to the bodega fleet and it's kind of the entire network of coastal community food resilience. So oppose any boundary expansion at all, because EAC is definitely playing the long game, and we're tired. We don't have the time to fight them in rulemaking year in, year out, and litigate to keep state waters. Just keep state waters. That's what our representatives should be fighting for, and that's what the commission should be fighting for. Ugh.